Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one and all. Welcome back to another GTA Online video. Be sure to smash the like button as I try to post new content every week, or every 10 days. Kicking off this video, I decide to give one of those collection team mission adversary missions a try. Admittedly, it takes me a little while to figure out the flow of this game, like the objective. But yeah, bottom line is I lose pretty much every single match. So let's just skip ahead to the next. So about 14 minutes later, we finally come to the end of the match, and 35.8 grand. That's actually not bad for the losing side. Makes me wonder how much the other team got. I should like to thank all of these guys you see for rolling with me, but anyway, I think I've had enough of that game mode for today. This here is the girl, or Stephanie if you prefer, the queen pin of the GTA Online servers. Continuing to work her way up in the world, this is the story of how she does it. Enjoy. I realize it's technically been more than 7 days or even 10 days since my last upload, but the thing is, I've been really busy. I know it sounds like a likely story, but I mean, it's only partly because I'm a procrastinator. Also because I had to get a brand new PlayStation 3 controller because I was in the middle of a game marathon, and it finally came time to play PS3 games, but again, I needed a new controller. I had two controllers. One couldn't hold a charge. You had to keep it plugged in, and another was just, I don't know what it was problem is, but it kept having seizures, so I just decided not to bother with it anymore. But yeah, because of that, I'm a bit behind on that part of the marathon. And on top of that, because I had to buy a new controller, I wasn't able to keep my Netflix subscription, so I'm really poor. My only source of income is playing cash games, and I have to use the same phone that I use to edit these videos on, hence why it has never been a top priority for now, until now. But yeah, it's been a long journey, but we're finally here. Anyway, I make my way over to my weed lab, Christmas tree warehouse. Yeah, that works. And I've got a lot of product, but I need to resupply in order to obtain more. So I set my waypoint to the vineyard. Seems like it was just yesterday that I was in this area for the Diamond Casino heist, or the Diamond Casino missions, I should say. The heist is a whole different thing. Anywho, long story short, I make quick work of those poor migrant working goons and snatch the product for them, ready to bring him back to my warehouse for distribution. And I don't want my vehicle to despawn, so rather than park it behind the warehouse like the game wants, I decide to deliver it right to the side door. And that is one job complete. I make my way over to my arcade in Grapeseed to collect the savings from the safe. But then on my way there, something catches my attention. It appears to be one of those luxurious exotic sports cars that that you can take all the way to the docks, which in this case is literally to the complete opposite side of the island. But yeah, anyway, before picking that up, I decide to make my way over to the ATM machine and deposit all the thousands of dollars in cash that I've obtained doing miscellaneous tasks. And then I proceed to hop in what I think is the exotic car, but yeah. Turns out it's one of the cars that Simeon Utilitarian wants, whom has not sent me a repo list, by the way. So, yeah, that was completely annoying because I now have to deliver an exotic car while simultaneously evading police. And admittedly, this takes longer than it should. So finally accepting the fact that there is no way I'll be able to evade the police if I follow the main road, I yeet all the way to try to get him on the dirt, lose him on the dirt road. I mean, I'm not really sure how leaving literal tracks in the dirt is going to help evade them, but it works eventually. Alright, so I have a quick message for Rockstar. Can you please code out these Simeon Utilitarian missions? No one enjoys them. It's an inconvenience when you happen to hop into the car that he wants, if you even can be bothered to find it. I swear, I feel like more often than not, you find the car Simeon's looking for completely by chance. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Just get rid of those side mission miscellaneous things. Like, no one wants them. And now, with the police finally off my tail, I can set my waypoint to the docks, but not before air launching this vehicle. So, yeah, and G's where one of the warehouses are nearby for that I can steal supplies from, but that'll have to wait, since I'm pretty sure this vehicle will despawn if I enter that cookhouse. You know, I'm really grateful that you can deal as much damage to this car, to these exotic cars, and it won't impact the sale price in any way. But I have to say, for a car with missing doors and hoods except one, like literally every door and hood is missing from that car except one, I would think any buyer would be pretty upset. So, but anyway, I finally deliver the car and pocket 20 grand. Not bad. Now I have to find a vehicle to take me to the next thing, which I decide should be my nightclub, since it's closer and it's another safe I can collect from, even though it feels kind of premature since I did just grab the money from that safe in a previous video. Anyway, with the contents in that safe gone, I can now, while I'm here, go on my Mac PC or whatever it's called and do a cup and sell some goods. Before I decide which items I want to sell, I decide to I must pick a new type of supply to have my staff work on while I decide which assortment of goods I want to sell, and I go for the sporting goods type. And we are underway. Anyway, immediately after I have this first package delivered, seems like I have some competition out to kill me. Swell. So, yeah, I just try to stay away from them to start. It's just easier than going out of your way to kill them sometimes. And after doing that, I deliver my next package. I set my waypoint to the third delivery spot, and guess what? More assholes. I presume it with every delivery I'll have to evade more goons and cars, of more jealous goons and cars. Although I don't think it's the goons that are jealous. I think it's actually the people who pay them are. But anyway, upon dealing with the inconvenience of some dumbass broad just parked horizontally in the middle of the goddamn road in my way for some reason, I make my delivery to the third location, set my waypoint over near the Western Highway, and on my way there, I guess who I see. I accidentally spin around right where they can get a perfect shot of me and die. And so I finally decide, enough of this, pulling out the big guns. And at this point, I am so pissed off because I should have dealt with them a long time ago, and they're just a real thorn in the ass cheek. And you gotta remove that thorn before it gets infected. And suddenly I feel just like Nico Bellic with how irritated I am with these explosives. I'll rip your fucking heart out. Anyway, with that minor inconvenience out of the way, I can finally deliver my last two packages in peace. You know, I don't know if I've said this in a previous upload, but I actually applied to be a delivery guy for the US Postal Service. Haven't heard back from them yet. I mean, this would be pretty good practice, so wish me luck with that. In hindsight, I should have pulled into the driveway backwards and then delivered the package, so I wouldn't have to reverse and accidentally run into it. But instead doing a K-turn right into a property for sale sign. I'm guessing that's what it is. Anyway, just one more delivery to make. All the way by the Fort Senkudo base. Upon doing that, I am rewarded with 90 grand in the pocket. Jeez, if only it were this easy to make that much money in real life. I make my way over to my counterfeit cash business because it was the closest warehouse to where I was, to where the last sale took me to, the last delivery. Unfortunately, there's not really much in lieu of product, so I once again have to get some more. For this resupply mission, I have to find the product, which is in one of 5 different military trucks. Unfortunately, it was not in the first place I looked, so I go down to the next one, and it's the product. Unfortunately, it's also in Bala territory, so I have to deal with a bunch of guys shooting at me, and here I thought I would only have to worry about the guys guarding the truck. And of course, since they were firing at me, I'm sure those guards have to deal with the ballers now. Because it doesn't really matter who you are, the balls will fire at anyone. And that is another delivery perfectly executed. And once I wait for this guy's phone call to disappear, I can determine how much product I have. How much supply. And that should be enough to make more product. Unfortunately, there's still not enough to sell. So anyway, I decided to use this time to check out that stash house that G directed me to. And I was hoping it was not supplies that I have. It was not for a warehouse that I already supplied. And I make it to the stash house and kick down the door because it looks cool as fuck. I take out all the guys who are standing in my way. Admittedly, it wasn't without dying, but for time's sake, we don't need to show that. And one of the first things I see is the code on the wall to the safe. And we know the drill. And I open up that safe, and once I get out of here, I'll be able to figure out which supplies those are. And stash house cleared, and it was for cocaine. Excellent. I make my way over to the cocaine lab only to find out that is no product to sell. So with that little trip being a waste, I make my way over to my arcade finally, and I can finally get the stuff out of the safe. 11 grand, not bad. Pretty minor compared to all the cash I've collected before, but not bad. But since I happen to be around the block, I make my way to my forgery warehouse to see what's going on with that, and hopefully get some supplies, which hopefully won't be a major inconvenience to me. And it looks like there's a lot of product I can sell as well. Unfortunately, it's the resupply mission that I so dread, where I have to unfairly go bare knuckle on a bunch of bikers when they get to use melee weapons. But I take them out easy enough, only dying once. Anyway, resupply successful. Before I leave the club, I like to loot all the loose cash that I can from the floor. Unfortunately, still can't pick up the melee weapons. I always found it ridiculous how the game insists that you buy like a pool cue as a melee weapon when they should be free. This would have been a perfect time to actually get one of those, but nope. Rockstar likes to give you the middle finger from time to time. Anyway, the stolen pickup truck that I arrived in was in pretty bad shape, and I knew I was sure to run into a bunch more angry bikers on my way there, so I steal their van instead, which provides me a bit of cover, which becomes a bit irrelevant once I take care of them, remembering the lesson I learned trying to deliver those sporting goods from the nightclub warehouse. Once again, evading NPC cars that should not be parked there to begin with. I successfully delivered these supplies, and now I'm ready to sell the stock I currently have. And of course, I sell to the company Frontier Employees Ltd. because they are offering a bit more. So, unfortunately, I'm stranded without a vehicle because those NPCs finally decided to move their car rather than let me steal them, apparently. I know they just despawn, but pretending it isn't a game and just that, the rules of physics apply here. So I jack this minority's SUV. He gets angry, and I ain't no little bitch, so I decided to fight him. Just kidding, I pull out an SMG to make quick work of him, steal his loose cash, and with that out of the way, head back in his SUV to make my way over to Mackenzie Airfield. And since I think you all know the drill by now, if you've watched my previous uploads, I'm probably going to just skip over all of this unless something happens. I would like to say, when was the last time someone flew over the golf course and triggered an alarm? Because that used to be restricted airspace. You could never hover over it, but I'm thinking maybe Rockstar coded them out because on the few times I actually am feeling ballsy enough to fly over there, I never hear any alarms being raised. But maybe during certain missions you don't raise the alarm, but I don't know. That doesn't feel right somehow. Anyway, I have successfully sold all the packages, pocketing, what does that say? Whatever. Yeah, 30.3 grand or 30.8, one of the two. And since I happen to have the convenience of being in a helicopter, I decide to make my way over to the Diamond Casino and 1, change my attire in the penthouse, and 2, spin the daily wheel. But anyway, that's going to be it for today, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to see what Thick Girl gets from the daily wheel, be sure to turn on post notifications because you will find out in the next one. As always, it's Dr. Stephen James saying peace. Later, guys. Till next time.